I like to think of a video edit. The clip, the film, I think of it as a photograph. It may be a series of images, a series of clips that are put together, and we think of it as being this video, but I like to think of it as one thing. In other words, I'm trying to achieve a mood or feel just like I would in a still photograph. To me, it's one unit, but it's about getting it together in that one unit that can be confusing at times. So I have an approach that I call a 3V method. Basically refers to the different types of video that you'll shoot. And there's only three kinds, really. One is something like the narrative, for instance. That would be an interview, or it could be music. That's going to be your basic audio that you're going to hear. And then, of course, secondly, it's often called B-roll or cutaways. I like to think of it as photographs because whenever I have those kinds of video that I just shoot that doesn't have any really significant audio, it's just a nice shot. Then there's a third one, and it's just natural sound. Very often it's a really nice shot and it's got great audio. So there's three things that I'm going to look for. By doing that, I can quickly divide everything I've shot on one project into three types of video. So let's take a look at how we're going to do an edit using the 5D Mark II. This is where we're going to build our video right here. If you think about the way you edit photographs, for people who've edited images, I mean, it's the same process. What do? Does anyone go in and out of 500 photographs that you have in your camera, do you walk in there, lay them all out either digitally or in print form and say, okay, these are the 6 that I want? No, not usually. Usually the approach is you're going to narrow it down. You're going to get rid of the things you don't want. And you're going to take some things you're pretty sure you want, you're going to put them over here. So it's a process of elimination. So in the end, we end up with maybe 20 photographs out of that 500. And now we've got the tough job to get it down to the ones that really tell the story. Once you've gone through your clips and you've scrubbed them, you may have placed them down your timeline in these three categories. Now I know that everything on this line is something that relates to the narrative, maybe it's an interview, whatever. Everything on the line above it is this line right here. This is going to be photography, maybe, just there's no audio here that I'm really interested in, but it's really nice images. Then finally, on this third level is that nat sound. How do I use that? Well, the first thing I do, put together the narrative. I'm going to take everything on this first line and I'm going to construct it and I'm going to put it together and cut it just so it'll tell me the story just by hearing mostly. Then here on the second one, I'm going to use these, my photographs if you will. Call them cutaway, call it B-roll, whatever, but to me it's images. I'm going to use those images in appropriate places in this story to help illustrate what is being said. And finally, the nat sound adds to the narrative by giving it, allowing me to add more interest to the story, to break it up a little bit so it's not just maybe if it was an interview and it's just someone just droning on and on and on, that gets pretty dull. So see, it's a pretty simple process when you think about it. It's just simply, let's break it down, let's make it something that you can manage and think about logically. But if you really stop and you examine this, it is almost identical to the way we edit photographs. So there's not much more to it than that, other than of course you have to learn the skills. Once I've put together my story, now I can take it to just about any place I want, in any form I want, DVD, a video for the web, video for a mobile phone, who knows, frame grabs. There's so many possibilities, but those possibilities don't exist unless you have really good high-quality video coming into it, which is where the 5D Mark II comes in, because you can't have all those possibilities if you don't have it to begin with. As I often say, you can't edit what you don't have.